more charitable with one another, create better communities, or more learned, more accomplished?
More learned statistically, I suppose.
It's all the things I just said are all statistical.
I don't think Jews are no, I do not think the Jewish community is, for example, a more intellectually compelling community than others I've encountered. No.
Like, who do you think would be our equals intellectually?
Well, I told you before that you know, in high school, if the choice was between going to my conservative synagogue or going to my, you know, Korean friends' Oriental Baptist church, the Baptist church blew synagogue out of the water.
You think it was more intellectual?
I think it was more ambitious. It was more serious about. It was more intellectually ambitious, or they were really serious about, this is what we've got, this is the scripture we're looking at today, and let's figure out what it's got and how we can use it, and let's really really look at the problems.
Those are puberty.
No, that's because I smoke unfiltered Camels. I do that because I want to be seen smoking unfiltered Camels, and it's never too late to start smoking. No, that's a joke. No one should smoke. But yeah. So and whereas in a lot of Jewish or Judaic contexts, I feel like it's not so much about that, like that really aggressive pursuit of truth, and kind of it's more about navigating a social environment, which is a sterile experience to me.
Do you think there's such a thing as sin?
Yes.
What's a sin?
I think when you do not love your neighbor. I think that's the only sin. But, I mean, basically, the Ten Commandments are playing out that one sin, playing out ways in which you can sin in that way. I mean, that's what I think.
Right.
Do you think there's such a thing as sin? I mean, you don't believe in God, so how can there be sin?
Well, I don't know. My natural
I didn't
science.
say you denied.
Yeah, I don't know what the question means. I guess is what it comes down to. Right? Yeah.
You can't really believe in sin if you don't believe.
No, I believe in my own. No, I prefer certain behaviors to others. Put it that way, and I feel very strongly about some of them. And Dennis Prager is very lucky because he too has strong preferences, but then he says, no, it's not me. Like,
it's the Torah.
It's that's why it's important that people believe. Yeah, it's just someone else said it, and he's right. So just don't argue. But I don't feel so different from him. I mean, I also have. I'm a moralist by nature, I think, and so I can get all fire and brimstone, but ultimately, in the end, you can only go so far intellectually, and you just get to a point where you've reached kind of a fundamental premise of my worldview. We can talk about it, but it's not really. It's just what I believe. It's what I believe, and it's what I'm gonna go.
How would you guys have reacted if you were sitting here and Moshe was saying all this stuff?
I'm gonna kick him in the face.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, are we really sitting in the hovel with Moshe? I mean,
no. Let's say 3,200 years ago, you were there.
Oh, okay.
3,000 years ago.
I thought you meant like he's right there on the ground next to the bottle.
No. 3,200 years ago, let's just take this as historical truth. And you were there in the audience, and Moshe was addressing you with these exact words. You would not be happy. I know that right now. I'm wondering how Monica, how would you react?
Depends at what.
Would you say this is not for me? I'm leaving. I'm out of here.
I think I would be undecided. I would be undecided. Okay. I would be compelled. It would be compelling at some point, at some level for me. And I might be a little bit scared, so I might go along with it for a while anyway.
Yes. Well, no, that's what I was going to say. Is you actually got me wrong on that one, and the reason is because if I was literally in that historical context, no, my concern in that environment would have been physical security, and
because they would have been looking to kill you.
Yes, no, but that doesn't matter. The point is that I would have realized we need a strong man who's just going to enforce order. Mm-hmm. I would have been happy at the existence of some kind of of a big bully who was going to force people to behave along certain parameters, because that would mean.
Would you fear for your life? Because people like you get put to death.
No, because I'm.
Sodomy is totally against the Torah.
Well,
Now, come on, wouldn't you fear for your life? They talk about putting to death idolaters.
No.
The man who says, "I'm going to follow my heart." That's you, Joey. You follow your heart.
No,
You
but
would be put to
I'm
death.
also like, I'm not gonna do like, no, I'm also interested in like, no, I'm good at navigating. I'm
Social
happy to
mores.
navigate the social mores that I feel are worth navigating, and if in that environment where death was always was in a total anarchic environment where death is the whim of your neighbor when your back is turned,
Right.
I would have been very happy to find a way to work within this structure. Yeah, because it would have been important to me that someone that there be rules that were enforced so that I wouldn't get killed.
So you could have lived with this.
At that time,
Yeah.
yes. If you were, I'll just say yes and shut up with that. I think at that time I could have. Now there's no reason to. But yeah.
Yeah, I would have been fine with it up until, though, we get to 30:15, that, basically it's Shema. I mean, because it's wrong.
What's wrong?
I mean-
wait. What's
okay.
wrong? 34.
Basically,
14.
it's saying, no, 16.
Okay.
And then I command you today to love, to be your God, to walk in his ways, to keep his commandments, so that you'll stay alive. If you
Mhm.
follow God, I'm going to
He will
bless you.
bless
But
you.
but if you don't, bad things are going to happen. I'm going to take away the rain. But see, the reality is that people sin against God or transgress or leave God all the time and still prosper.
Right.
Likewise, there are people who love God, who follow God, who, quote, walk in his ways, and they suffer.
Right.
So,
Would you have raised your hand and
I
said,
was-
"Massa, make that point," and then what do you think would have happened?
the ground would have opened, like the
And you would have been
Korah.
swallowed.
Well,
Yeah.
no, they would have had
She
to.
sounds like, was it Korah? Yeah,
Korah,
it sounds
yeah.
like Korah.
Right.
Yeah.
Aren't all the God's people holy?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Moses
well,
draws his little line in the dirt.
no, they would have had
With-
to kill you, and it would have been in our interest for that to happen because you would have been undermining a
Social
social
cohesion.
order that
Right.
was very important.
Right.
But
Maybe it
you
worked.
it's about
then.
it's about women in the end for us because you cannot. Okay, if let's say I was willing to die for my own convictions at that point, and I would have said, you know what, this is garbage. It's not interesting. I'd rather just either go out by myself or just mess shit up. That's fine. I can decide that for myself. But if I want to have a wife, if I want to have a woman with whom I'm close, that is your walking vulnerability. And in that environment, then you take on that. I can't get without this at that time. I can't have a woman that I care about, and I can't live without that. So yeah. Yeah, stability. I mean, that's why people get nostalgic for Saddam Hussein or for the Soviet Union. Not because those were intrinsically good structures, because it beats the shit out of chaos.
Right.
In many ways, though, this is a reflection of. I mean, it's the. Levin else writes about this too, but it's like a. What we see depicted here is the God of children, not the God of adults, right? The God of children who need rewards and punishments doled out because they don't know how to think like adults. I think that's what we see here. And
I
that's
think
why
this
to
is
stay
primitive.
here, I think, I don't know, primitive has negative connotations.
But the God of children doesn't? Is it-
No, it's
Oh.
natural to be a child at a certain point. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's a period of growth and development. But you've got to keep going.
Right.
Tell me about Kohlberg, like Lawrence Kohlberg's philosophies of like the very lowest level of moral behavior is to do something because you're told to do it, and the very highest is to
yeah.
do something because you think it is right.
I guess. I mean, I don't know that writer, but I mean, it sounds similar. I mean, we populate the heavens with, our own idea. I mean, an idea of God based on our own desires or needs or whatever. And so, at this point in time, this reflects the needs of these people. So every time God shows up in Torah, He's different, right? Every single time.
But that's just our, you're saying that's our conception. That's not God speaking to us. This is all us speaking.
I think it's both, if that's possible. I think it's both. I think it's God speaking at this time, but then it might just be the God we put in the heavens and the words we put in His mouth. I don't know. I'm not saying it is. I'm just raising that as a possibility.
I just before I forget, I just want to add one thing to the idea that this is child